What's up everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Before I jump in, I just want to go ahead and say a big thank you to everyone who's been hopping in on the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Like, dang, last video that I did, I don't know, for some reason it just exploded, so that's because of you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to jump into today's video nonetheless. It is about the developers hosting another Q&A as promised. Remember, they hosted one back early this year. Can't necessarily remember if it was maybe like the May or something like that. And they said they were going to do another one. I remember making a video asking, when is it going to show up? Some people told me to calm myself down. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll calm down. But just among all of the news that we've been getting, they went ahead and said our devs are back. They'll be joining us on Discord on 10/12 to answer your Gotham Knights questions. Submit them in our questions channel at Discord. So if you have not submitted your questions yet, make sure that you actually take the time to go ahead and do so, because this is where they're going to go ahead and answer as many questions as they can take. Usually it's kind of curated, but you never know. If your question kind of aligns with somebody else's and they're deciding to answer that line of questioning, they might go ahead and package it all up together, and eventually you'll probably be able to get yourself an answer. So what are you going to be asking the developers? Am I going to ask any questions? Actually, no, I usually do not do that. I just kind of watch, because this is a community forum. And in my own case, I can always make a video to ask questions or whatever it is. And even though they may or may not watch it, I'm not really concerned about that. But I have a different aspect of pretty much focusing on the community as well, and how you guys are responding to all of that. Now, a few things, though, that I think players are probably still going to ask, and this is just from my own, study in terms of reading comments, having conversations with you guys, and seeing how you guys are responding to all of the, stuff around the place. One of them is Robin. Robin is pretty much AWOL right now. Not a lot has been seen about him. He's the biggest mystery so far when it comes to all of the reveals. And I think the developers might hold that card a little close to their chest, or maybe they may do a huge Robin drop to finalize all of the hype building and, maybe see Robin fans get something before they eventually dive into the game. You never know. Another thing, too, that I would love to see asked, even though, I don't necessarily know if I'm going to ask it, is the networking functionality. Maybe I should ask this question. So how is the matchmaking going to work exactly? Now, many people have been talking a lot about, a lot of the different systems and mechanics. We all have been. But one thing that no one has really taken time to actually unpack is exactly how this co-op, functionality is going to work. How smooth is it? Is it going to be something where, on day of launch, we're going to be having network issues? People are not going to be able to play with their friends? Or is it something that's been extensively tested, and on release, we're not going to have any hiccups with it? Now, I cannot guarantee that there are not going to be hiccups in it. In fact, if anything, I'm going to lean towards saying that we might see some networking issues arise. And if we get no networking issues, then that will be great. But usually games like these, because of the way the interactions work, it might be something where the developers might have to be working overnights to patch things like that. But I hope that that does not happen. Honestly, there is no reason at this point, after so many delays and, so much waiting, to have something so minuscule come in and ruin the expectation. In fact, I think this network functionality is probably one of the sole causes of them moving this game from the last generation to this generation. It's such a very interesting set of systems, and in Unreal Engine, it is one that is very complex to put together. I'm quite surprised that in Unreal Engine 4, that's the engine that they're using to make this game, that they're actually going for it. I don't know if I've mentioned this to most of you before. I remember someone in the developer space, in the indie developer space, shared a document with me that actually is floating around with developers. It's an entire presentation of dozens of pages of how to go about implementing replication. Replication is the system in Unreal Engine that allows for you to be able to create multiplayer or co-op experiences. So that entire system itself, when I looked at that presentation, it's more like a book, but they call it a presentation. And if you go on GitHub and other developer forums that actually talk about Unreal Engine and see the resources that have been gathered in place, you will know that this is no small feat. which, like I said, it's my one major concern that I have regarding Gotham Knights. But if they've been able to get the technical designers, technical artists, and programmers to put it in place and make sure everything is fine, then it's going to really elevate the game. It's one of those things that can actually devalue your experience or actually heighten it. There's no middle ground when it comes to those systems. But hopefully, I wish that, the best actually is the outcome, and I wish the developers the best and hope that their systems do not have any issues on day one. I'm also kind of concerned because of the, DDoS attacks that we're seeing from, other games as well. I don't know if you guys got the news. Overwatch recently, I think the second one, recently had a lot of DDoS attacks that have just hampered performance and a lot of the different systems as well. I don't know the extent of the story. I just know I saw a headline. I'm hoping that whoever is trying to do DDoS attacks forgets that Gotham Knights exists on the 21st and forever, so that they don't try to interfere with the game that we're looking forward to playing. But make sure that you mark your calendars. The date is October the 12th. The developers are trying to get some conversations in, trying to answer some more questions. It's going to be one of those things where all the questions are submitted earlier, and then they're going to just be kind of, in a sense, typed into the live Discord server where the developers are going to be in, and the community manager. No one's going to be able to answer any questions. If you didn't watch the first one or follow the first one, this is how it actually went. I actually stood here in front of my computer and watch the questions get typed and the answers get responded and stuff. But I'll be doing coverage on it. We'll be taking some of the questions and breaking them down, because I know a lot of you will have some comments or some extensive overviews that you would like to see or hear. But that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching the video. I appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk very soon in another one. Peace out.